to the Revamp Blog. Today we have April, CEO of April Cook Salon. So April, thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please tell us about your business.
So my name is April Cook, and I am the owner operator of April Cook Salon. And there, I really try to allow my clients to express their individual personalities and their fun side without going against the integrity of their hair. So we experiment with color and, a bunch of different things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what made you start this business?
Well, ever since I was in the 5th grade, I've always been interested in how salons run. I used to go all the time, and just seeing how people would light up after they get their hair done and the conversations and things of that sort. And it's always been a passion that I've had ever since I was younger. So I wanted to be in a position where I could, some way build up other people's esteem by just, simply doing their hair.
Wow,
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yep.
So how long have you been doing this business for?
So I've been in business for 3 years. It's going on 4 years, but 3 years. So I started, my LLC and everything in 2014.
2014.
Yep.
Wow, so you have quite some experience in this.
Yep.
So what are your customers saying about your particular service and what you're doing for them?
Well, they enjoy the experience when they come to April Cook Salon, and is the reason why they rebook. But they like the fact that I don't overbook. That's one of my biggest things, and I don't understand, why in other salons booking is always the biggest concern.
Yes,
People are like, what you doing today? And I'm like, I'm getting my hair done all day. Yeah. But I realize in other industries, and like doctors and things like that, you have an appointment, that's your time.
Right.
So that's something that I realize as women, they have other things to do.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the reasons why people come, because they know that their appointment time is their scheduled time.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing. And just taking care of the hair in general, allowing the styles to be a nice style, but also not going against the integrity of their hair just to get a nice look or to make $1. Like, it's not,
Right. So what is it that you do that is uniquely different from the rest of the salons?
I would say, again, the booking, but I am a colorist. So I experiment with color, and a majority of my clients are natural. So it's that whole taboo thing of like, you can't get color, your hair's going to fall out type of thing.
Exactly.
So I always make sure, as I'm processing it, that, again, I don't go against the integrity of their hair and allowing them to get that end desired result, So that's something that I really would say that is my niche.
Your niche. Perfect.
Yep.
So what are some things some struggles or some failures that you experienced on your business? Because I know as being an entrepreneur, you're always running into those road bumps of obstacles.
Yes.
So what are some things that you went through and how did you overcome them?
For me, I would say maybe about 1.5 years and being in business, just looking at or being so dependent on a particular location. And when things kind of happen that's outside of your control, you have to kind of figure out how to maneuver through that. So I had to move from my first location to where I'm functioning now. And it kind of felt like a step back, because you're like, I'm, finally out there. I have everything set up, my website, location, and things like that. And then when something that's out of your control happens, you're like, are my clients going to follow me to my new location? Am I going to lose people? So that's kind of something that I dealt with. But I also realized in that, if you create relationships with your clients, if you have a service that they're not offering anywhere else, they'll follow you wherever you go. So that's something that I've learned, and I've taken from just experiencing having to move from location to location. So that was one of the toughest things that I had to. But learning also in that I'm still growing. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So after these failures, what are some things that you believe that your business has impacted your community and the people that you serve?
Okay, so I think maybe I would say on a smaller level, but maybe it's not such a small level. Just touching the lives of the women who come in. I mean, sometimes they call me the hairpist, like I become a therapist along with doing their hair.
Absolutely.
But, just kind of giving them that strength, that encouragement, the esteem building while servicing them, you know what I mean? And allowing them to go out and be able to be a better person, just because they feel better. And sometimes when you feel good and you look good, you can do a better job at being yourself, you know?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I've seen that in a lot, like, you know, if a person takes care of themselves and grooms themselves very well, they feel more productive going out into society, or just better themselves. So, as a young woman, entrepreneurship and business, what are some things that you would provide advice to people or young women trying to get into entrepreneurship and business?
Okay, so there are a couple things. I would definitely say that it's important to find some literature or have a mentor, or like, you know, go to conferences, constantly learning about your industry, you know, staying on top of what's going on. And definitely knowing your market. Who are you marketing to? Like, who are your customer? And creating that relationship between, you know, whoever you're servicing or whoever you're providing a product to, you know what I mean? Knowing them, getting the feedback from them, you know, knowing what they want, what they don't like, you know, seeing those things and how they work. And I would definitely just say being kind, like that customer relationship. I mean, you know, customer service, I would say. Because people, they can offer a good product or service, but sometimes if the environment or people have attitudes and things like that, they're not going to spend their money there, because, you know, that's how you create a relationship with a person, just being kind, you know, in business. And definitely knowing your numbers, like what you're working with. Like, you can't be in business if you don't know your numbers, you know what I mean?
True.
So those are, you know, a couple of things that I've taken. And, you know, just being grounded, because you're in business, but you can't do business by yourself. You know, sometimes it gets lonely, but you have to have people on one side who can help build you up, and then other people that need you to turn it off. Like, you're working all day long. Sometimes, you know, in entrepreneurship, you are everything. You do everything all by yourself in the beginning. You wear a lot of the hats. So just allowing people in your space or friends or family that can help you kind of turn it off when you need to unplug and rejuvenate. You can't do everything, you know?
No, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are some things that your mentorship, that I know you went through some mentorship, what are some things, that advice that, you know, she or he provided to you to help you kind of accelerate in your business? Got
you. So she always says, you know, there's no business development without personal development. Shout out to Angela Hardy. But, you know, and that's something that I've learned that goes hand in hand. You know, business, you know, things in your personal life will affect business, and things in business will affect your personal life, but they'll both help you grow. So that's one of the things. And she actually specializes in holistic hair, looking at hair from a holistic approach. So that's helped me to kind of separate myself from others as well, looking at your hair from the inside out. You know, so those are a couple things. And just, you know, keep striving at, you know, business. You're going to have failures, you know. She's told me, you know, we've talked about that. And just, you know, never giving up when things seem like they are hard, when you want to give up because failure kind of makes you stop for a second and regroup. You know, those are the biggest things that I've taken from her. Was there ever a point that you felt like you wanted to give up? Yes. Yes. I mean, after having to move from location to location, it can be discouraging. It really can. But that's the point where in business, it'll make or break you. You know, there are no failure. I mean, there's no business without failure. Absolutely. But failure can only push you forward if you let it. That's very true. You know what I mean? If you let it. Okay. So what are three things that you would provide to women in entrepreneurship to kind of keep them going? What is your three main advices that you would provide? I would definitely say, again, that, you know, you need to know who your audience is. And you need to know, you need to distinguish your service or product from anybody else, because sometimes you have people doing the same thing, but what's going to make them come back to you? How are they going to remember what you do? And being connected, staying focused, staying, you know, plugged into others that, you know, are doing the same thing that you're doing, and looking at where they might have failed before, so that you can kind of go around those pitfalls sometimes. You know, absolutely. You don't have to, if someone already did it, you don't have to go through it definitely too. Definitely don't have to repeat it. Absolutely. Yeah. That's really cool. Yep. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? So I'm really, right now, I'm working to put a apprenticeship program in place. Interesting. Okay. I'm a licensed senior cosmetologist, so I am able to teach, but I really want to have an apprenticeship program / a school so that other individuals can come in and they can learn the customer service. They can learn, you know, how to take care of the hair, just, you know, not going against the integrity of the hair. They can learn those things. And then they can, you know, learn how business runs. And then they can come in and, you know, I'll be coming in maybe once or twice a week, you know, servicing my clients.
Right.
But that's something that I really am looking forward to. And just, you know, once I get to that, you know, once I get there, being in a position to help other young entrepreneurs kind of find that start, you know what I mean? And not a lot of people out here that are really, you know, doing that. So I feel like in our community, we definitely need something to help others kind of get their start too.
Awesome,
so
awesome. Yeah, I think what you're doing is very empowering, because I know a lot of women are trying to breach into this entrepreneurship, and they also need some kind of guidance.
Yeah.
So even whether they're doing hair, they're doing you know, business, they're doing some kind of fashion design or any kind of business, IT, just being able to get into the field and find their way in. So those key things that you said about never giving up, being well connected, I believe those are very key characteristics and assets that they can have to grow. So where can someone find you? Where can people find you on social media? Like, what are you on?
Yep, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's aprilcooksalon.com.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, April Cook Salon _salon. On Facebook at April Cook Salon, LLC. And then you can also go on my website, www.aprilcooksalon.com.
Awesome, awesome. Well, April, thank you so much for your time. We love having you here. We want to know more about you, so we're definitely going to follow with you. Guys, please check her out on her social media sites and book an appointment. Come get your hair done, get your colors done. You see, she's looking fabulous today. Thank you.
Thanks.
So until next time, we'll see you guys on Revenge.
Alrighty.